James Schamus was attached to college Republicans, I believe, a couple of years back. The project was a blacklist script in 2010. It topped the list. And again, it's one of those films that revisits politicians before they became who they were. And this week it was announced that college Republicans had found a trio of actors that'll sort of like interpret real life people. And then there's also one actress that plays an amalgamation of a lot of different people in that area. So during that era. So yeah, College Republicans probably going to go into production this year and set itself up for a showing next year. So yeah, thoughts on just perhaps the production, the producing team, and sort of like this set of young actors.
Sure. I mean, this film has honestly been in development for like a decade. Long ago, like 9 years ago, Richard Linklater was attached to direct. He was gonna direct Paul Dano, who was gonna star. That fell through. A couple years ago, Daniel Radcliffe and Dane DeHaan attached themselves, and it had John Krokaitis, who directed Kill Your Darlings. He was attached, and then that didn't happen. And so now we have James Schamus, and like for all of the long development that this film's had, I cannot think of a film that I could care about less, to be honest with you. Like I just have, especially after the past 4 years, I could really just could not care less about the story of young Republicans at this point. Like I'm not sure who this, I'm actually baffled. I'm not sure who this movie is for exactly, or what it's supposed to tell me.
Maniacal. It's for us to perhaps better understand the mindset of a Stephen Miller. So how do you get to different? How do you ascend into evilness in the White House? I'm enthusiastic. I'll be honest. I'm enthusiastic because I'm a big fan of the Blacklist, especially for those like the top projects. Anything that's mentioned in the top 5, usually it's either a huge dud and tonally deaf, or hits it out of the park. And I'm always curious about the political world and all the rumblings and behind the scenes. I like Logan Lerman's very selective and picky career choices as of late. I believe he's almost a role per year average for the last 4 or 5 years. His last one was being a supporting player on Shirley. And there's also the actress who I believe comes from a modeling background, and she has a really unique face. Her name is Kristine Froseth, and she plays an amalgamation of a whole bunch of different characters, a composite, as they say. And she was featured ever so slightly in The Assistant, and we'll see her potentially break out in Sarah Dina Smith's Birds of Paradise, which was being shot in Hungary, had to stop towards the end of the COVID, and just I believe restarted recently. So yeah, some young guns here that might make it, that might give it some sex appeal to people that are sort of no longer interested in this, such as yourself.
Perhaps I just fear. You know what? My first sort of gut reaction was thinking back to Adam McKay's Vice, and how much I really did not like that film, and it had no nuance to it, or it just had nothing there. And my fear is this is just going to be Vice Redux. Like I don't know. I just have very little. I already know that the Republicans are evil. How they became evil is of lesser importance to me at this point. But to your point, you know, when Blacklist scripts really live up to the promise, they are something special. So, and this cast is certainly, you know, it's all actors who are are emerging out of sort of younger, more mainstream roles and trying some really different things. So there is the potential here that it could be something unique. So I'll keep a sliver of myself open to this one.
And it's worth pointing out, and this is a film that I actually quite liked, was that James Schamus's debut was Indignation. I believe I saw it at TIFF, or perhaps it was Sundance, and that also starred Logan Lerman. And I think that was a film that gave the actor a little bit more layers, and so I'm hopeful.
I'm Eric Lavallée. I'm editor-in-chief and site owner for IONCINEMA.com, and this is
Kevin Jagernauth, contributing writer for the playlist.
And together we are IndieSponge.